What's up, Rockstars? How you guys doing today? So, I have been away from YouTube for a little while, but I still have been playing Warframe almost daily over on Twitch. Definitely come check me out. If you guys need help with anything, I can hook you up, and on top of that, we're still doing plat rewards. I think I might be the only Warframe partner that has been partnered this long and has been keeping, which is about 5 years, maybe a little longer, and has consistently done giveaways daily. The system that I have on my Twitch channel in particular allows you guys to actually earn the plat, so it's not random. It's not like you'll be a viewer for the rest of your life and you'll never win any plat from me. In fact, the average person that's at my streams daily, like that's it every second in my stream, even if they're like lurking, it's fine. Like nobody's gonna call you out on it, and I don't really mind. I appreciate you being there as a viewer either way. You'll wind up winning platinum like every week and a half to 2 weeks. You are gonna wanna go into my channel, type !free, and that'll whip up a video for you that I've basically laid out a lot of things about how not only do you get platinum, but also all the extra in-game items that I've earned through the years, Warframe sets, weapon sets, and we're talking vaulted Warframes, vaulted weapons, like all that stuff is in there. You guys can learn how to earn that stuff from me just by chilling in my Twitch channel. It's all in that video, !free in the chat. When you guys stop by my Twitch channel, drop a follow. I'm live every day. As we get into this video, I'm just gonna say, I definitely play Dead by Daylight. I play Rocket League, play both Fortnite, Save the World, which is what I started on, and I only recently, as of a couple months ago, got into Battle Royale. But I don't really play them all. I don't really main Battle Royale as a main game that I play, so nobody cringe too hard about that. It is what it is. Maybe I'll jump into Valorant. Who knows? Anyway, this video is about Warframe and Burnout and addressing all that sort of stuff. So, a lot of partners have been talking recently about Burnout and they're getting upset with the game. And as somebody that was there like 5 years into making content on Warframe and just making videos and streaming and being a part of the game and feeling like it's a real part of my life, like it's just something that I'm supposed to wake up every day and think about, it absolutely does get to you. And I feel where a lot of them are coming from. I think when a lot of us freak out about the game and how we feel about it, it's not just what we're saying. I think there's a lot more to it. And it's not really that bad. I think a lot of us overreact when we get upset with the game. I also think a lot of us don't realize why we're getting upset with the game right up front. It's kind of like, you know, you wake up, you have a bad day, one bad thing after another happens, but then you're going to complain about the one thing that sets you off. But meanwhile, it was a whole bunch of little things that kind of got you there, I guess is what I'm getting at with Warframe. So you invest yourself, let's say from the partner's perspective, and this is where I think this is coming from, and we'll get into other aspects of like burnout and all that sort of stuff, and how you guys can prevent burnout for yourselves. But with the partners, and myself included, I feel like because we've been making content off of this game, you know, on a daily basis, a lot of things happen. One thing is definitely that something new comes out to Warframe, which is pretty often, you know, compared to a lot of other games. Pretty happy with how often they're having updates and they're giving us new stuff. When something comes out to Warframe, it may not be perfect. And as a lot of you have maybe tried out Railjack if you were on PC, there was so many glitches and bugs, and I grinded the crap out of that when that was happening, and I kind of actually had a blast, and I really, really love Railjack. If you guys haven't been on Warframe in a while, and you're like, oh, I haven't been around since like Fortuna dropped, what did I miss? The glitches and Railjack are great. Personally, I'm a big fan of those. I really, really like those. It changes the content up in a sense where Railjack feels like, it's like you're watching the game, you know you're playing Warframe, but it doesn't feel like Warframe. It's a lot more engaging, especially if you're doing the higher level Railjack missions. As far as liches goes, it's nice because you're not grinding the same thing out. Like for example, with Scarlet Spear, you're either doing ground or you're doing space missions with Scarlet Spear, and you're grinding the same thing out over and over again. And that absolutely leads to burnout. Any kind of grinding in whatever video game you do absolutely leads to burnout, but when you're doing it over and over and over and over again, and you know there's a goal in mind, and DE is really good at, and this is a bad thing, DE, but they're really good at extending the ever-living crap out of their game by being like, oh yeah, you know, we're gonna give you a bunch of rewards. We know you guys need these. It's probably gonna take you 40 plus hours to grind all this stuff out. Or, you know, the event's gonna be around for a month, and it'll take you, you know, solid 60 hours out of this month that this event's going to be around. So then you get on your grind, you're on the game, you're busting your butt, you're getting all this stuff that you need to be getting, but like even before you're halfway through it, you just get this bug where it's like, oh my god, this is so monotonous. I'm just doing the same thing over and over again, and I just can't stand it. I think with partners, a lot of times, that's what it feels like. It feels like I'm making content, And when content's not coming out often enough, you know, like when, or not that it's necessarily their fault. D's doing a great job, I think, at coming out with content often enough. But like, when you've covered everything you need to cover, and then you wake up the next day and you're like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But you know you gotta cover it. You know, like, I don't know what to do today. There's nothing new, there's nothing fresh, there's nothing I haven't already talked about. So now not only are you grinding a game, which has caused you a lot of, you know, like, you're already grinding the game, now you have to grind the topic of the game in your content, which I feel is what, like, a lot of people do. I'm not putting that down at all, by the way. I'm just kind of, you know, pointing out things that where I feel like a lot of this is coming from. And I know with myself in the past, as you guys have noticed in a few videos probably, I've gotten really irritated, like, in the past with, like, just certain things about Warframe. I've snapped at, you know, different sides of the game, and I feel like that's a lot where a lot of it comes from. It's just the repetitiveness, the grindiness, you know, the doing it over and over and over again. I feel like that's where a lot of this comes from for partners. As far as what I think you guys can do to, like, keep yourselves from getting burnt out is play other games. Like, nobody ever said you had to only play Warframe, you know? And I'm sure before you got into Warframe, there were other games you were into. Maybe you burnt out on those and that's what brought you into Warframe. Is that burnout still there? Maybe you can go back to the game. Maybe you can still get that high score that you got. Maybe you still kick butt and could hit, like, you know, #1 on the leaderboards of whatever it is. With how many games that are out there and the different styles of games, this is what I've done personally to keep from burning out. I have different styles of game that I main, and if any of these games are games that you play, please, and I'm serious about this, like, I want more friends and people to hang out with and play other games with. I still do Warframe more than anything, but I still want to be able to have a larger group of friends that play Dead by Daylight, Rocket League, Fortnite, you know, whether it's the BR or specifically, I'd want more friends that do the Save the World. I've got almost everything in it, but I still got a lot of weapons to turn legendary, you know, like the legendary, all their perks. If you play the game, you know what I'm talking about. But there's still a good chunk of things to do in there, and I still find the Fortnite events really fun, especially the Save the World ones, which I think is the best part. But with Dead by Daylight, so if you've never seen this game before, basically it's survivors versus killers. On one hand, you could be a killer, which is you're solo and you're playing multiplayer and you gotta go after 4 other people that are trying to survive. And your goal is to keep them from escaping. As a survivor, you can't hurt the killer. There's nothing, it doesn't matter what the killer is, you can't hurt the killer whatsoever. And your job is to basically, as secretly or stealthily as possible, hack gens, open the gates, and escape the killer's yard. This is a great game for, like, fast thinking and, you know, just keeping you on your toes and stuff like that. And it's really done it for me. Like, I've really sunk into this game, and I've sunk a lot of hours. I have over 500 hours on Steam, I think, and I'm really into this game. It seems like every game that I play of multiplayer, even though I've seen the map before, or I might have versed that killer before, every game is fresh because you never know what the killer's gonna play like. You don't know what kind of perks the killer's gonna have on. You don't know what your team's gonna be like. You don't know what kind of perks your team's gonna have on. You don't know what their play style is. And it's exciting. I find it exciting every time I play the game. Rocket League is another one. Now, I love the crap out of this game because everything about this game is just how good are you skill-wise, like how fast are you with your controller, or if you use keyboard and mouse, you know, like how quick can you think? This is one of those games where it's almost like you have to, at any given time, basically the higher your rank is, it's almost equivalent to the amount of skill that you have versus the amount of forward thinking you have. Like, how good are you at predicting where that ball's gonna go, where the rest of the team is gonna go, and can you put that ball in a position where you can put your team in an advantage? And I love that game so much. I've currently hit the highest of Diamond 3. I'm looking to break into Champ with Rocket League. I definitely need more friends that play that game, though, at like a higher level. I need more skill. I need more matches where there are people that know what a pass looks like, know where to be when a pass is going to happen, you know, like just know all that stuff. But Rocket League is such an exciting game for me, and I've definitely been playing this almost daily as well, along with Warframe, Dead by Daylight, Fortnite. I've been playing Rocket League daily, you know, just to mentally switch it up. I think what a lot of people need a lot in their life when you're grinding the same game over and over and over again, whatever the game is, and you're grinding it out, you're activating certain sections of your brain. And what I think you really need more than anything is different sections of your brain to get active. You need to do games that require you to think differently or behave differently while in the game. Warframe is very beautiful. It is a very, very beautiful game. I love it. It is still my top 3 favorite games of all time, even with the other ones that I've mentioned. It is extremely grindy, and that can be very, very draining on your brain. So that being said, I'm not putting Warframe down at all when I say this, but I definitely recommend getting other games to play that are different styles of game, that are not grinder games. You know, like Grand Theft Auto would be a good one, or any of the ones that I've mentioned would be really good. But just playing Warframe to the point where you start to feel it, and it's something you gotta wake up a little bit to. You know, like, you don't just want to all of a sudden be in the middle of doing something and then snap and be like, I'm done with this, and just, you know, be like, never playing Warframe again. Because the game's always having so many updates, there's always so many awesome things happening to it. I don't think it's the kind of game that it makes sense for anybody to ever really stop playing permanently, because they're always changing it up. There's always so many awesome things that are happening to it, and everything that you do in Warframe to me is like one of those games where it does make sense. You know, for me, a content creator, maybe not so much, but for a viewer, it absolutely does make sense for you to at some point be like, you know what? I'm not gonna play Warframe for a month, or I'm gonna take off for 2 months or 3 months or whatever it is. But definitely worth having a Warframe account, definitely worth getting some of your grind on, earning some things, because you'll always be able to come back to that. And when they add new content, it's not like you're going to be starting over from scratch. And I get this question a little bit, actually often enough I get this question, is Warframe worth starting now so late into the game? Yeah, absolutely. When I started playing Warframe, and I'm not sure if it still stands like this, but when I started playing Warframe, the game is supposed to be in beta till 2035. If that's still true, there's another 15 years left of them definitely having to add more things to the game. And 2 years ago or 3 years ago at TennoCon 2017, I personally talked to DE Steve, and I asked him about the potential of opening up other star charts, you know, along with open worlds and things. And he told me that that is absolutely something that they would like to work towards. So right now in Warframe, all the planets you see, that's us in the Origin system. They just handed us Railjacks. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next year or two, there's a whole new star chart that opens up. Some people are suggesting maybe it's going to be the Tau system with like Teshin and all of his cronies and stuff. But like, that would be really exciting, and I'm definitely looking forward to that. Definitely something that I feel like it's not worth anybody not starting Warframe because they feel it's too late into the game. You have plenty of time. I mean, 15 years left. The game's only been around for 7, and there's another 15 years left. You have plenty of time. Your friends have plenty of time. Anybody that, you know, has that question or whatever, definitely worth getting into Warframe and just start chiseling away at it. There is an enormous amount of things to do. I'm actually looking to put a video out of Warframe to answer the question, what is there to do in Warframe? And the list we came up with on stream is enormous. It's absolutely enormous, the amount of things that you guys can do in the game. And I didn't even make up the list from a quote-unquote collector's point of view. You know what I mean? When if you're the kind of person that has to get every achievement, or you have to collect every single thing there is to collect in the game, whether that be mods, arcanes, items out of the store, like whatever it is. This list was enormous, not even counting you being a collector, not even coming from that point of view. So the amount of things there are to do in Warframe is crazy. I'd like to get that video out in the near future, so you guys can keep an eye out for that one. But as far as like, you know, burnout with Warframe, yeah, have other games, you guys. Totally play other stuff. Nobody's gonna pick on you or make fun of you or whatever because you're not just grinding Warframe out. Like you're not some mindless robot that's just doing the grindy thing, you know? And probably pretty healthy for you too, to play other games where it's gonna switch your mind up and get it out of the grind cycle of just doing the same monotonous thing. That's my take on Warframe and Burnout, and why I think a lot of partners kind of lose their minds. It's like, this is the game you chose to make content on, and there's only so much you can make before it gets to the point where you feel like you've said that already, or you've made this already, or, you know, you've already done that. So it just gets to the point where I feel like for a lot of content creators, you just, for all the other reasons, you snap and say it's burnout, and you are burning out. I mean, for me too. But like, I think for a lot of people that wind up attacking DE, or, you know, the people that work there, or the game itself or whatever, I'm not saying it's not merited, you know, you being upset with it. But a lot of times I feel like the level at which people are overreacting, you know, about the game or whatever, I feel like that's really just what it is. I think it really just has a lot to do with a lot of little things building up, not releasing those little things or knowing what to do with them, and then all of a sudden you just kind of snap. Because I've definitely been in that boat before, so I'm not putting anybody down that's been that way, or maybe will be that way in the future. But just to kind of give you guys an idea, burnout's a real thing in Warframe. Definitely switch it up. I miss you guys. Hopefully you're all doing awesome. I would love for you guys to come hang out on Twitch. I have been streaming every single day on Twitch, and we're still giving out platinum every single day. You guys still have the ability to earn that platinum. Again, type !free in my Twitch chat. It'll pull a video link up, watch the video. For those of you that do the math on the ducats, I forgot something in the video that makes all of you think it's gonna take an eternity to make ducats. It doesn't take that long to make ducats. So stop yelling at me and trying to say like I'm some kind of scammer. I'm over here trying to be Mr. Beast to the best of my ability because I admire the crap out of him and I love how he gives back to his community, and I'm trying to do the same thing. And then you guys go watch that video. I totally forgot something, like, or a few things of what you make ducats on, and then y'all get snappy with me like I'm trying to scam you. I just don't have any need for any of the stuff that I have, so you guys can earn it. And the system I have is really fair. A lot of people in my community are very adult about it and feel the same way. It is a very fair and well thought out system. So we're not making changes to it. It is what it is. But hey, you get to watch a streamer, you get to watch Warframe content, you get basically any advice that you need, Warframe related or whatever, and you get to earn stuff for it, because I just want to give back to those of you that are chilling and hanging out and helping me grow as a content creator, not just on Twitch, but here on YouTube as well. Anyway, before this video gets any longer, I want you guys to know that I definitely miss you. I love your faces. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I will see you guys in the next one.